What's going on, y'all? Watch this real quick.
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
Bro. Behaviors like this is the type of story that we don't see after we go in the news and saw Pitbull Maul's little kid. We didn't get to see that a little kid was antagonizing this dog and the parent just sat back and thought it was cute. So today in this video, what we're gonna do is talk about how to prepare your dog for kids. So if you already have kids and you plan on bringing in a dog to the family, or if you already have dogs and you plan on bringing a kid into the family. So number one, right? If you already have a dog and you don't have kids, what you want to do is socialize your dog with kids. What you want to do is take them to the park, allow them to see kids running around, screaming. This is something that they got to get used to, hearing high-pitched noises, seeing kids being very sporadic. Once they get used to seeing this, they become dull to it. They don't get overstimulated. They don't get scared. These are the type of things that make your dog react and bite. They react out of fear. They react out of anxiety. So making sure that your dog is used to seeing these type of things or used to being in this type of environment is super important. So what I recommend you do is take the dog to the dog park and just allow them to see the kids play and then give them treats. Give them rewards, play with them. Anytime you see that dog given a relaxed demeanor when they are around kids that are being very loud, being very sporadic, and making a lot of noise. All right, so the next one is obviously don't leave your dog unattended with your child. This seems to be very obvious, but for some reason things happen, right? Because for one, kids don't know. And dogs, depending on who they are, they can be very nurturing, they can be very protective, but dogs have their own personality as well. When you got that dog, they didn't sign up to be a babysitter and they didn't sign up to be antagonized by little kids. So what you want to do is make sure that you teach your child how to operate with a kid. Make sure that you correct them. This person in this video allowed the little girl to keep hitting that dog to test what was going to happen when the dog reacted. You don't want to be in that situation in the first place. And what happens is a dog looks to you to be the leader and solve the issue. So typically what happens is a dog will give you a chance. That little girl kept hitting the dog. He didn't react. He gave you a chance. He said, hey, I'm going to let you have it. And then eventually they get to a point to where they say, all right, you haven't stepped in, so now I have to solve this myself. And a dog is going to solve it by doing some type of dominance, whether that be biting, whether that be pinning or pushing another dog or the little kid down. And obviously that is not safe for the kid. Your dog is always going to look at you to be able to solve a situation that they're uncomfortable in. If you don't solve it, they're going to handle it themselves. So another thing that you want to do is separate your dog and your child when they're doing specific activities. So when your dog is eating, make sure that the kid is not in the same area. When the dog is playing with their toys, make sure the kid is not trying to reach down and take the toy from them. Obviously, you shouldn't have a dog that's resource guarding in the first place because that's what's going to happen if your dog feels like the child is trying to take something away from them and they react in an aggressive manner. That's a form of resource guarding, but you also don't want to push the dog. So don't set your dog up for failure. One, don't allow your kid to be hitting the dog in general at all, but also don't set your dog up for failure by allowing them to feel like they have to defend something that they have, which they shouldn't be doing in the first place. But kids, they don't know. They go and stick their hand inside of the dog bowl. They decide to take the ball that the dog has. They want to take the toys that the dog have. Just separate them when they're doing specific activities. All right, guys, this is not going to be a long one. I don't really have too much to go into this video. Honestly, I feel like things like this should be self-explanatory. It should be obvious that you shouldn't have a dog and a kid of that size fighting or playing around in that type of manner. So I'm going to wrap this up by saying if you're struggling in training your dog, if your dog has allergies that you can't get rid of, or if you don't know how to feed your dog, we have a community, a private community that will teach you step by step how to train your dog. You'll be able to get on live calls with trainers. You'll be able to get on calls with Amy so you can ask her specific questions about your dog health. If that's something that you're interested in, click the link in the description below and we'll see you on the inside. Peace.